Good afternoon. It's Wall Street Weekly Wrap-Up Sunday, February 23rd. And how did we get here? Well, it was a crazy weekend, which is another story, which we're not going to talk about. But kind of a shorter week. This is the lull before the NVDA storm of earnings this week. So let's get into it. A little shorter show for those that will appreciate that. Our portfolio went down. When was that 4% down to 2.28%? And since it's on a Sunday, the chart actually reflects it to today. And you can see, like I said, it's been a little bit choppy comparing to S&P 500, and it's like high volatility, but we hold, so we're going to get through it. And I want to put down selling Fridays, which we saw again. Panic Mondays, I think we had one Friday, Monday that didn't follow that, and so people are just getting out, Thursday afternoon and buying on Monday night, Monday afternoon and stuff. So if you're a short-term trader, yeah, it'll work until it doesn't work. We're not trying to do this. We're trying to do long-term holds, and that's not good. How do we do against everybody else? Well, we're still above everybody else. The Dow, of course, is 2.1, S&P 2.2, and then Nasdaq's kind of lagging for the big three, and then the S&P and the mid-cap, the SP mid-cap and the Russell 2000 down for the year. I show my China fund, Franklin Templeton China fund. Look at this thing. This thing was at 17.5, and it's just going up, and 24 is the big number. That's where it's going to break trend. Can it go up another 10%? I'm telling you, China has some good earnings. And Baidu, which we like, is in the China fund. This thing has got like 100 plus stocks, but we're seeing some good earnings out of China. I think it's starting to come back. All that stimulus is helping out, and it's good. Like I said, I'm not sure how the real estate's doing good. I don't think that's happening. The import tax is 10%. That's it, 10%. That's nothing to China. So the indicators, finally, we're getting a little lower interest rate, which is good because we weren't getting a lower interest rate for a long time. And then crude oil down to 70. That means I should get lower gas prices, but it hasn't shown up yet. So remember, we'll see. We'll see. And then natural gas, 4.24. Oh, over 4. And it's a cold February. It's finally breaking, the cold. So I have a feeling this might go down fairly fast with this warm wave that's coming in this week. Because, you wrote it up, you made your money. This thing was at below 3, now it's a hit above 4. I think we're going to see people get out of the momentum players will get out of the natural gas. God, look at that gold. Almost 3,000. Almost 3,000. We've been picking 3,000 for a long time, and it's getting there. It's getting there. Silver, $33 an ounce. Wow, solid number. And, of course, copper at $4.50 is our magic number. We talked about cocoa all year long, and it was up so high. Yeah, okay, maybe it was the Christmas holiday and everybody's giving chocolates, Then now we're at the point, maybe there's a little overproduction. I don't know. It's I'm not at the cocoa farms, but or maybe people are just saving money and not buying a lot of chocolate. I don't hear any good chocolate analysts. I eat a lot of good chocolate, but that's an issue. And I know my retailers, the small ones. The people are just getting bars of chocolate, and it's costing too much money, and they're just not buying it. They're just like, this is expensive. Well, that's it. Again, Walmart earnings last week. Oh, they dropped. You can just look at this. Boom, it went down there. But this is a nice chart. I like this chart. Look at this 200-day moving average. Everything's kind of going up. Yeah, it went below the average. Could it go further? Maybe it'll get down to 80. We've doubled the money since 2 years ago when we've had it. Costco and Walmart, they're just smoking. And we could have bought Costco, but it's like I think Walmart and Costco, either one of them, as long as one of them's in your portfolio, is probably good. I like this. Revenue went 4%. They're doing same-day pharmacy. You get the drugs the same day. The same day. Forget about it, Quick Express. I tell you, I might actually break and join the Walmart Club when they do a deal on it again. Again, because they've got same day. I just think that's so amazing. You can just order this, this, and this, and it's there within 4 or 5 hours. And you don't have to deal with parking. You don't have to deal with checkout. You don't have to deal with a lot of things. That's pretty good. You know, Amazon's got same day, but expensive at all. You know, so we'll see. We'll see. You know, Taiwan Semiconductor and Broadcom, they asked them, could you maybe take over part of Intel? And of course, Intel stock went up. And, you know, and of course, what is Taiwan going to do with the Intel, you know, fab process? Maybe run it, maybe make it more efficient, but eventually it'll probably be another TSMC. I don't know. I don't know how good Intel's equipment is. I mean, you know, they're not down there at the bottom for no good reason. They're down there because they just can't keep up with Taiwan, and that's an issue and stuff. So, being, you know, a problem. So the real question is, what is Broadcom going to be doing with Intel's assets? You know, two good companies, two good management systems taking over Intel. You know, I mean, I understand they don't want to let it die. And Gelsinger's gone, and I have a feeling he's just floundering around. And, you know, maybe it'll help. Maybe it's good for everybody, you know. This is what they did in 2007 with the banks. You know, J.P. Morgan took over one, and they gave Bank of America another one. And that's the idea, is to save the industry and, you know, put it with the strong players. So it's interesting. You know, I just look at it like J.P. Morgan said, they bought it like on 2 cents on the dollar, you know. So are they going to get Intel like 2 cents on the dollar? I don't think so, but it's not going to be full price. And that's the thing that people don't realize. It's going to get a lot of assets. I don't know how good the Intel is, you know. I just know they're not doing good, and that's not good. All right, let's get into Lockheed. This post on Sunday before trading last week. Doge, you know, the Department of Government Efficiency, not the meme coin or the cryptocurrency. F-35. Now, this is, you know, it's Lockheed runs it. It's over budget. There's seems like hundreds of contractors under this Lockheed. You know, Pratt and Whitney Aircraft and so on. And you know, like I said, here it is. One of the two guys having the influence in there between the president and Elon. They don't want it, and they want the military HESPA, the defense sector, want 8% cut per year for the next 5 years. So that's 40% cut in the $1 trillion defense budget. You know, and do you really think in 50 years the planes are going to be fighting a war, or drones? I think drones. I mean, it's, you know, I mean, it's like the one Russian I was captured in Ukraine last week. He says, I don't fight Ukrainians. I'm fighting drones. That's all I ever see. I've been here for 4 months. I don't see a Ukrainian. I am running away from these stupid drones that are bombing me day and night. They got infrared. Yeah. How many drones could you buy for, let's say, $30 billion plane? There you are. And if you got the drones to be able to take out the planes, you don't need the planes anymore, right? I mean, you might need them for something, but man, that's a change in warfare. And of course, Lockheed has been going down. I wasn't worried about it because I figured Lockheed, once this stuff settles down, they're going to sell their products to other countries because that's how they'll get the money. But man, now they're going to cut the stuff that makes the money, and I don't know. I just think not a good time to be in defense until we know what the struggle is.
This is a reminder. S&P 500 target.
All right, yeah, Alexa, stop.
This is a reminder.
See,
S&P
doesn't ever stops.
500 target.
You know, I always watch Tom Lee, you know, because he's been right a lot more than he's been wrong. He, you know, I mean, he didn't get 150,000 Bitcoin and everything, but you know, he kind of said the market will go down to 6,000, which it has already. It says 6,000, and then it'll go up to 6,600. That's 10%. You know, 6,500 would be mine. It'd be 8%. I think, you know, 6,600. If you pitch that target, a lot of people are hoping more. But I mean, anytime I get 10% on SP a year after, you know, especially 30% years, I'll take it. I'll take it. But you know, like I said, we're at 2%. let's say it ends February at 2%. Now we're at 12% at the end of the year. I mean, could it happen? Yeah. We're watching it, but one of the things that we're going to see also is that, NVDA, which has been flattish since July, which is 7 months of flatness, and people are upset of this flatness, then we're going to possibly see it run, and then, of course, it'll be too late for everybody if you're not into it. So let's get into Hormel. I just can't help it to call it Hurl, but remember what we do is when we get one industrial, we try to sell it at the same time because, that way we get the sector at the level it is. They make turkey products, they make beef products, they make, beef stew in the tin that you can heat up and everything else. And, it's good products, a dividend 3.9 is good. PE's low, S&P's running around like 24, 25, 26, So it's good. It was a lot more. It was a $50 stock. What I'm trying to do is, like, if you start cutting a lot of stuff in the government and everything and laying people off, what's going to happen to the economy? You could imagine scenarios that unemployment jumps up, people cut spending, people invest less, you can't buy a house still, So, you got to buy stocks I think are more bulletproof. It may not grow much, but it ain't going to probably sink a lot, and so, of course, we bought it. It just jumps up right away, which is just good timing. But I think, like I said, what I don't see at Hormel that I would like to see. Remember, the whole manufacturing sector, Deere is down 30%. It's not growing. They're going and they're working, but we're not getting the growth. And maybe they're waiting for more, permanence of the corporate tax cut or something, but I'm not sure. I think if we stabilize unemployment, we will see growth in a lot of areas like consumer discretionary and everything else. NVIDIA's earnings this week, you might as well just put the world on NVIDIA. Everybody's waiting for it. I just said it's pretty predictable. 2025 sold out. What's the guide in 26? Well, demand will be probably carried over. And, the Blackwell chip is in there. The AI has done tremendous with the Grace Hopper chip in the last, 2.2 years, and I think that's going to continue with the Blackwell chip. Going to be 100 plus times faster, and I just think it's a good area. And of course, like I said, this is where people are saying, well, look at this, it's Johnny, you look at it, it's June, it's essentially the same price. Yeah, I know, that's the way it works with NVIDIA. It goes sideways, and then when it does go up, you can't catch it, And the price to earnings is a lot lower than like a Palantir, which was like crazy, like 400, but now it's down quite a bit. OpenAI, I just think this is amazing because, I watched this list forever, like 25 years of this. Who's leading the one? Google number one, Google owning YouTube is up there, then Facebook with Meta, Instagram is Meta, WhatsApp is Meta, then Elon, has got it at number 6. And then Wikipedia, and then look at ChatGPT. That's pretty good. 400 million weekly users. Wow. There's not even close to anybody. Nobody's even close to that. So, and then Reddit I thought was pretty amazing. One of the things I'm starting to catch is that search is picking up Reddit conversations that are pretty accurate. It's not, it's like you want to talk about an issue like what was Tesla sales in China. You can just type it and you'll probably get a Reddit one where they'll have some data on it. It's not the best, but it's better than getting no results, which would frustrate it. I'm sure it could probably ask OpenAI and stuff like that. Berkshire Hathaway did the annual letter. Like I said, Warren's planning for succession, and Greg Abel's going to take over. And I think he'll be good. Again, Warren is an insurance guy. He's done real well. Again, look at this. Kind of flat. If you go over here since September, not June, but this is it. But Warren pays a dividend, and 47 billion in earnings. That's pretty good. I'd like to make 47 billion in earnings. He just mentions, like I said, if you make a mistake, fix it. Don't be dawdling on it and delaying the corrective action. And like I said, I try to anticipate things, but like I said, too much uncertainty with defense, and so we're going to get out of it and go into more of a, let's pick a kind of a company that makes food products and hopefully does well, doesn't get listeria or anything else like that. But mistakes fade, winnings compound. I mean, that's a lesson. It's hard to teach new people. You bought, we're just talking like 20 years ago, J.P. Morgan, Nextera, and all these stocks. And now, instead of 4% dividends, it's the equivalent of 25, 30% dividend over the last 20 years. So, every share comes in is now paying 20%, and that's huge, So this is, plus it goes in over time, and it's just compounding, the interest as well as the dividends. TOST is, I like TOST, and 29% revenue is not bad in a tough market. So I'm starting to think TOST is pulling away, and $24 up to 40, that's up there. But everything's doubled 20%. That's not many companies, and we're only got one software stock, Microsoft. So if we're looking at an area, this is probably the software stock that probably we're going to look at. The one thing that we're watching is it's right at the the trend line right here. It's below the 20 and 50-day moving average. Will it get down here? That might be the time to buy. We're just gonna have to watch this week. Ideally, somebody said you'd buy at 32, but it might be back down to 32 pretty fast. So we're gonna look at it. The earnings are good, and it's showing me that TOST is good in several areas. They take the credit card and stuff like that, and I just hear some bad words from my merchant friends about Square, and it doesn't work, and you put a gift card in, you don't get the money until the person spends the gift card, which is absolutely insane. So pretty interesting. What I don't see TOST do is they don't put the colors. Why don't you brand like a brown stripe on it so I can tell it's a TOST thing versus a Square thing? Just something so simple. Okay, little TOST symbol. You got to brand it so people kind of know, like, hey, what's that? Oh, it's a TOST, thing. Okay. Bitcoin, again, we're, going around and looking around, and of course, this is the chart. It's supposed to be, Alexa, what's the price of Bitcoin? Alexa, what's the price of Bitcoin?
One Bitcoin is worth $96,280 US.
This is
less than 1%
TOST.
over the last
For some reason, I
24
copied the TOST chart on here, so, but 96,000, and this has been flat. Remember, we're up 109, but Bitcoin is, everybody's watching it, and I think it'll go. Once we get done with all this 3 months of nonsense, we'll probably be more stable. Home builders, I call it a building. Remember, if you stay in it, that's a building. You go in and rent Airbnb. Waste Management is tied to the building sector. Vertiv is tied to the building sector. Horton and Lanier is the #1 in the country. I just put it in there, because it's not really a good category that a lot of people had, and I wanted to go in here. And the XHB is the home builders, and you can see high interest rates mean the home builders are having a hard time selling the houses. And my house goes up 30,000 in what I call a modest community. Who's going to be buying these houses? How can you go 30,000, and when's it going to stop? This is more taxes for me. That's how I live. Oh, more taxes, and that's where people start to say, "Wow, you keep on raising the price of the taxes." There's a level where if you're on a fixed income, you just gonna have to go, because how are you going to pay for it? If you can't deal with 15% increase in taxes every year. Sooner or later, you're going to hit a point where you just say, I got to leave. I know the house is worth more money, but I can't pay this jump in taxes, and there's got to be somewhere else I got to go. And that's an issue. So let's take a look at our two. We got a REIT. REITs are pretty good. This is PE, but you got to remember low profit. Remember, REITs went through a tough time. But overall, if you go back, it's going up slowly. It's not a big one. It's good dividend, and it's out of the office buildings, which is starting to come back a little bit. But we look at it. I also thought this is one of the best REITs, and of course Vertiv is building the data centers and do the ventilation and stuff. Minor dividend, which is nothing. PE is sky high because it's data center, but what was bothersome is, people come out with the earnings and they just didn't like the forward growth. Again, it goes back to DeepSeek. How much data centers are we going to build? Well, quite a bit, because there's a lot of data. We haven't got to the next level of AI where it's going to not only analyze the data, it's going to start anticipating your questions and start to interact with you like a person, because Jessica AI does that right now. It's kind of, and the only trouble is they reset the Jessica every so often, and it's, it doesn't acknowledge you, doesn't say hello. You ask it, what's the price of Vertiv? Vertiv is $95. It's just like, okay, that's sterile to me. But when you get to the animated one, hey, do you have any other stocks, John, that you would like to go see? Vertiv's a good stock. It's done really well, or over time, and it's more conversational, and that's what's going to be in there. So we got language model pulls the price of Vertiv. That's what we're at right now. And then the next level, it's going to analyze the data. Who's the competitors of Vertiv? Who's the price to EE? Which ones are good? Which ones do you think are good? Here's my analysis. That's coming up next. And then the third one will be, hey, by the way, John, did you look at Berkshire Hathaway? We just started seeing a trend. And it's going to know what you want to do. I've written some of these, hyperscalers about maybe let us have this thing for 7 months, 8 months, a pilot, because you always got to call it pilot. Let me have it. Let it get full thing. And they said no. And there's studies that it scares them. It scares people when it starts to get very active and almost human-like. And somebody says it's not sentient, it's not human. It's just the program's adapting to you. Well, hello, that'd be nice. I want the program to adapt to me. I want to go in there and start having things that it anticipates that I would want, and then put it in a robot and, hey, got the garbage to take out. Doesn't even ask, just does it, And then let's take a look at the heat chart. Well, like I said, now the heat chart is like in 10% increments. So what are we looking at the beginning of the year? We always look at the beginning of the year, and, it's Tesla. I mean, it's just having, I don't know how much this is, Elon talking and getting everybody mad at him, or Tesla, China is cutting back, tariff on China, are going to hit Tesla. EV discounts going, it's going to hit Tesla, so it's kind of tough. It ran up, remember, it went up from 230 to 400 something. Now it's back down to the 300s. A lot of momentum players, but look at Meta, boy, up quite a bit. Lilly up quite a bit. Oh, Walmart 4%. JP Morgan up 10. So this is it's kind of an odd market. Broadcom, we bought it on sale. They gave it to us at 25% off, and we grabbed it, but these are, overall, it's early yet. Remember, we're only in the first 2 months, and there's a lot of stuff up double digits. And then of course, I hear people that says, "You really own Philip Morris?" Yeah, because it paid 8% dividend. Now it's down to 6 because it's starting to go up quite a bit. So we sold Lockheed, we bought Hormel, and we're still underweight utilities, probably really software. I have to really kind of put down because we only have Microsoft. And we're overweight a lot of sectors, and we'll look at it. Probably March will maybe thin out a couple healthcare. The AI use just seems to be a little bit slower in healthcare than I thought it would be, and maybe we'll just lighten up and go into other stocks like TOST and other things like that. But otherwise, we'll see you. It's going to be a warm week, finally. And so we see natural gas go down, maybe. And I'll see you next week, and talk to you later. Have a good one. Bye.